with, so you would think women, I'm going to go that this says men.
Yeah, it is men. Women
Okay.
find it easier to forgive than men do. Scientists speculate that women are more forgiving than men because they are raised to be nicer.
I believe that.
So that there's
I
a,
believe that.
yeah, I mean, I think maybe men don't hold as many, but they certainly hold them for a long
Yes.
time. You know, it's like when they dig in on
They
one,
don't forget.
and they dig in on one, that's just one they've decided to be on. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. Technology isn't wanting to be friends today, so we're good.
I was wondering, it took me a minute to see you,
Yeah.
so I thought maybe you were juggling or spinning plates or
Yeah,
scrambling or doing something.
for some reason, what usually takes 3 seconds took about a minute today. So,
Interesting. We are in the month of June now officially. You know, last time we were together, we were still in May. This is June. So this is the month of Father's Day. So Father's Day is 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. What's this, the 18th, 17th, something in that
16,
range.
17?
All right, so yeah, that again. Well, then that's 2 weeks. So not this coming weekend, but the following weekend.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
Already got Father's Day on the horizon, Sam. Knowing you're buying Dave a new sports car, maybe or something, or
no, I mean, if we're being honest, and he would admit this too, no, Mom's birthday is Wednesday, so. So no, Father's Day is not on the mind yet. I know better than that. Is that a ploy?
oh no, I just obviously you clearly have your priorities straight, and that's good. 75% of adults will be celebrating their dads this year, and apparently we're spending an average of $196 on presents for the big guy. The top gifts will include special outings, clothes, gift cards, and electronics.
I am so excited. I've had my dad's for probably 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
good. You're
and
ahead of the game.
I know, right?
That's
He
good.
is super hard to buy for, so.
Sam, do you have your mom's birthday gift taken
Yes.
care of? So that okay, well then your mental focus can slightly shift toward, toward Father's Day. I might recommend you give your dad later in the week, maybe give him a Polish sausage or something for Father's Day.
Yeah, especially the ones that I might be able to give him there because
That's kind of a Father's Day outing.
it won't cost me anything, I guess, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking. It was
Is your dad getting that present?
I think so. You may throw in the potato salad too. You may say, "Hey, here's I made this potato salad especially for you." We've been hearing nothing but Trump trial for the last few weeks, of course. Believe it or not, Ukraine and Russia is still a thing. Ukraine imposed emergency power shutdowns in most of the country yesterday, a day after Russia unleashed large-scale attacks on energy infrastructure and claimed it made gains in the eastern Donetsk province. So there's still a struggle there, and I think they've been resupplied. They went through a period of time where they, didn't have a lot of munitions to be able to fight, but it looks like those supply lines have been delivered, and we may be hearing more news out of that, especially since the media has time to cover something else other than what was going on in New York, seemingly. Foggy start to the work week. We're going to see there was a fog advisory that just expired a few minutes ago. Going to see some scattered storms return tomorrow. We're going to see a cold front bringing more rain on Wednesday, so a couple of dry days. It will be humid today. What did you check the humidity? Was it like 91% earlier?
91%, according to her.
Wow. A high of 88 today, mostly clear, 69 tonight. And then scattered thunderstorms for tomorrow, a high of 86, and then a greater rain chance coming up on Wednesday, but then a couple of dry days. So we don't need to go through a period where we get no rain because things will dry out pretty quickly, but we probably need a more balanced approach than what we've had the last few weeks. And it seems like this week will bear that out. Some news headlines to pass along to you today. A Caneyville man has died in a freak tractor accident while performing a good deed for his neighbor. This happened Friday night. Just after 8 o'clock, first responders reported to the 1100 block of Caneyville Cutoff Road to report of a man trapped underneath a tractor. Caneyville Cutoff Road, just a few miles west of Caneyville on off of US 62. They found 82-year-old James Burt had fallen off a tractor and become trapped underneath the equipment. He was unfortunately pronounced deceased at the scene by Grayson County Coroner Larry Holman. We were told by Holman that he was grading his neighbor's driveway, which maybe was damaged by the recent rains we were just talking about. So he was trying to be a good neighbor and help. And as he encountered gravel, he lost control while traveling downhill on the driveway. It was almost like marbles, and it maybe struck a tree and threw him off, and he became entrapped underneath. Is I think what I heard some of the scanner traffic say. So a terrible accident there, trying to be a good neighbor, and unfortunately,
So sad.
it is sad. Litchfield man has died from a drug overdose. Happened yesterday morning about 2. The LPD, LFD, and EMS responded to South Claggett Drive to the report of an unresponsive male. The first responders found a 38-year-old male had suffered a fatal overdose. He was pronounced deceased at the scene by Grayson County Coroner Larry Holman. Further investigation showed the man ingested a purplish substance of what it was thought to be a mixture of heroin and fentanyl. Now, if you're paying any attention to the news, nationally or locally, you're hearing about the dangers of fentanyl and how deadly it is. In fact, the coroner was trying to offer some advice for people who use any type of drugs. He said, you better know your drug dealer better than you know your wife or best friend, because a drug dealer can kill a user either accidentally or purposefully by putting fentanyl on or in practically any drug. So they use it to make it more powerful. Probably the economy is involved in it as well, and it's extremely deadly and easy to overdose from. An allegedly intoxicated driver has been arrested after crashing into a home on Lilac Road. Deputy Caleb Owens and the LFD were dispatched to the crash Saturday evening about 7:20 in the 1800 block of Lilac Road. They found a Dodge 2500 was traveling south when the vehicle left the roadway in a curve. It was being driven by 32-year-old John David Hardesty of Meade County, traveled about 75 yards, then drove over a clump of trees, then hit the side of a residence, which was empty and had been unoccupied for some time. He was given a field sobriety test and arrested and lodged in the Grayson County Detention Center. A woman formerly of Breckinridge County with 2 drug trafficking convictions in the last 5 years has been arrested with a pound of methamphetamine. An effort between the federal and local law enforcement agencies, including the Narcotics Task Force from Hardin County, Shepherdsville PD, and several others. They arrested last week 42-year-old Stephanie Piston, formerly of Hardinsburg and Harned. Police seized a pound of methamphetamine during an arrest. She was lodged in the Bullitt County Detention Center. A big weekend in Lexington. The UK baseball team, I guess what we would say, took care of business, did not drop a game Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Sam, as it turns out, the closest contest of the 3 was their game on Friday. Well, the final was 10-8 against, was it Western Michigan?
Yeah, that was a wild game. I watched the first part of it and then got busy doing some other things and kind of was just checking the score updates. It was one of those that just kept on getting closer and closer and closer. And luckily, it wasn't a 10-inning game, because if it had been a 10-inning game, they would have lost.
Yeah, and on Saturday, then they turned away Illinois 6-1 to advance to that game yesterday, where they played Indiana State, and Indiana State was, I think you said last week that some people thought Kentucky was treated a bit unfairly by getting such a prominent team, or a team with high expectations to fall into their region, but they were able to send them away 5-0 last night.
Yeah, it helps too that was Indiana State's 4th game and their 2nd of the day, and it was only Kentucky's 3rd game and 1st of the day. Like that does help when, I mean, you've saved more pitching and so on along those lines. So hopefully they can use this and move forward into next week.
So this for the second year in a row, Kentucky makes it to the Super Regional. Is that right?
Correct.
But it's the first time in school history that they'll be hosting a Super Regional. And how will that schedule play out?
So that's still TBD. They will play either Oregon State or UC Irvine. So they know that. They'll host one of those two schools, which is a great mascot matchup, the Beavers against the Anteaters. And I'm cheering for the Anteaters, not because, for one, that would be an easier matchup for Kentucky, but also, who wouldn't want the Anteaters to come to Kentucky?
Of course. Well, the ants, but
Yeah.
that's okay. But so we don't even know the days.
It would be either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, from what I understand.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume that it, and again, this means absolutely nothing, that it'll be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just because the Oregon State Irvine game last night was suspended halfway through, and they'll finish it this morning, and there's the potential that they could have to play a game and a half today. And since they'd be coming, regardless if it's UC Irvine or Oregon State, they'd have to be traveling across the country. You would imagine that they'd give them an extra day. Now, I don't know, but that's what I'm assuming.
I couldn't find the game on television last night. Was it on ESPN?